Episode 45. I think we're well a ways away, or rather, well a ways in, on the quest for Titan. Hoping to wrap up my little session here with that, but we might not even get to it in the amount of time that I have today. I don't really recall how long this goes on, but I think we're almost there. There are probably at least a few more areas we have to go to before we're ready. But the Company of Heroes stuff went on for so long, I have to imagine that we're almost there. I wonder if the Company of Heroes were present in a Realm 1.0. They were more active, I guess, before the Calamity, it seems, but judging by how much time we're spending on them right now, I'm going to assume all this story stuff is strictly a Realm Reborn 2.0 territory. I can't imagine spending this much time with NPCs that were already in 1.0. You would run out of stories to tell, I imagine. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there is much I miss about my life with the Company of Heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. I have no fear. I swear that I shall find a suitable wine for the banquet, though I may need some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there's a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrind as a vagabond drunk. I suspect I was looking for a place to die, because I very nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Drest took me in and nursed me back to health. It was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me to find my new calling. Though I am still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I would like him to know that I am pursuing my dream. This wine is my own original creation, and I would be most grateful if you delivered it to him in my stead. Dress sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Ritskilt can tell you where to find him. Dressed? Oh, you mean the hermit. I toss him a few gil when we need an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk about himself, and I sure as hell don't ask. When a man's got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone, I say. If you've a mind to find him, though, then head southwest to the Severed String. I vaguely remember this area. A little bit. I made a wrong turn. There is no path leading into this area, I don't think. This sad little hut. What do you want? One? I didn't ask for this. Who sent you? I. Can't sleep. They won't let me sleep. The midges, the buzzing, it keeps me awake. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please, make the buzzing stop. Make the midgets go away. Not sure how Ruin 2 looks different from Ruin 1. Could just be a bigger explosion or something. More flashy. Trying to decide what I want on my hotbar for emotes. When I'm interacting with other players in the middle of battle, I think poking and beckoning could be useful. If they're doing something wrong, like standing in the wrong position, maybe. It's not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me. Even after what my comrades and I did to your country. We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others... No one else survived. I didn't ask for this, damn it. I'm not even Garlean. They conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer yours. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home. I wish to thank Shimani for the wine. That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Earlier today at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from the nearby palm trees. If placed in coconut shells and stored for a few bells' time, it makes for a fine wine, see? It should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please, take them to Shamani for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope to one day do the same. Someday. Someday I'll find my way back to you. I would go hunting for more gigantoads. I was going to say I didn't see any, but since they are here. Their favorite trick. Pull you in for a labored leap. I'll try not to cast any spells when they do that. Or cast any spells with a cast time. One more then. The experience is showing to be quite pitiful for these levels. Only 12,000 out of a total 140,000, barely a tenth. Wrong way. Guess I should just teleport straight there. No. What am I doing? Quest markers are over here. Although, before I continue, one minor detail that's been bothering me. The timer that appears under each gem on my job gauge is slightly overlapping with the little charge thing, the 2 diamonds at the bottom. I want to fix that. I can only do that when I actually see the numbers below the diamond. How's that? Good enough. Could have fixed that off camera, but I keep on forgetting to do it. Only just remembered. Good luck with that. It has been some time, Komori. What news do you have of Trust? Ah yes, I recall he did have some knowledge of winemaking. A simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural properties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We're not so different, Trust and I. Two men who have long struggled not to let our scars define us. I worry that he has been alone with his thoughts for far too long. It is past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, Komori. I'm gaining experience faster than I would have expected. We're at a level 33 quest, but we're level 40. Guess this means by the time that I reach level 50 in the main story quest, I'll probably be around, I don't know, pretty high up there. There's a steep drop-off for the experience at level 50, of course. So maybe not that much higher above level 50. By the gods, Komori, listen. I know you're eager to wash your hands of this wine business, but I've just discovered something extraordinary about dress palm wine. He sealed each coconut shell with a leaf. A leaf which has a very distinct shape and unusual odor. I thought I was going mad at first, but now I'm certain. These are the leaves of a Bacchus grape vine. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in Raincatcher Gully, the legendary vine still grows. If we could obtain a cutting, we could revive the Bacchus wine industry. We must know where Drust found these leaves. Here, take one of them back to him and see what he remembers. In the previous episode or some such, I went exploring down into the south, assuming that the main quest wouldn't take us there, but evidently we're going back and forth quite a bit. I didn't have to spend precious recording time doing the sightseeing after all. Well, it doesn't matter. We've been up and down this path so many times. I'm okay with going in a beeline directly to where we have to go. In a sense, these are the only views that I haven't seen off the beaten path. But beelining puts us in the path of a cliff face. I guess being 7 levels above the enemy isn't enough for them to not aggro on us. Maybe you have to be 10 levels or something. Oh, hello again. What is it? It's just a leaf, isn't it? I only chose it because it was pretty. Didn't know it was rare. Found them near the Juggernaut to the south, but I didn't see any grapevines. I saw fresh gobby tracks though. Maybe the leaves came from the vines growing on the back of one such beast. If you go looking for it, please be careful. Some gobbies are more territorial than others, and you may have to defend yourself. We'll teleport there. We've spent enough time here. It is sealed firmly within my memory forever. Or at least within my video. What did Just have to say, Komoi? Tell me everything. I was right. I smell this texture. I hold in my hands a Bacchus grapevine cutting. Come now, enough of this nonsense. I've heard talk of your discovery, and I refuse to believe that a common adventurer and a novice vintner could... 12 as my witness. It is a Bacchus grapevine. Wherever did you find this fantastic specimen? What? You would offer this to me? But why? There is none better positioned to reconstruct the Bacchus vineyards other than you, Master Berglaint. You have the resources, the knowledge, and the passion to do so. It would be selfish of me to keep this cutting. Komoi wouldn't mind being so petty, but this is for the best. I never knew you cared so deeply about your craft. Thank you, good sir. I will not squander this gift. In just a few years' time, I swear that every tavern across Eorzea will once again be clamoring for a cask of Wineport's legendary Bacchus wine. Sir, you needn't. Wait. The shape of this bottle. The scent of this label. It couldn't possibly be... a 1547 Bacchus? But that's impossible. This vintage has not been seen since years before the calamity. It was the crown jewel of my personal collection. For years I debated opening it, wondering if today or tomorrow would be the ideal time. But now I realize that it was never meant for me. It should be savored by the saviors of Wineport, I say. He has made us an offer we can't refuse. Master Gikaruju will find no finer wine. You have forever changed Wineport, Komoi. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. But do not permit me to delay you any longer. Pray, deliver the wine to Captain Wastegate. Well, yes. I would very much like to drink it. But I am a patient man. I have faith one day I shall have another opportunity to taste perfection. I wonder if he ever gets his chance. Actually, knowing what I do now, well, that's another time. The quest ends over there, but we have a side quest further up north. Let's finish the main quest. I'm sure the story will take us there sometime soon. Maybe even this episode, who knows? I should know. I've done this quest before, after all. I hope Ishtola enjoyed her break. Have we sufficiently made up for making you wait all that time? I hope so. Greetings, Komoi. I thought it fitting that I seek you out and offer my gratitude for all that you accomplished. Okay, I think she's no longer mad at us. A prolonged absence was beginning to concern me. So what of the wine I asked you to bring? Is that? 7 hells, a 1547 Bacchus. Even I know how rare that is. I have to admit, I didn't think you had it in you. But congratulations, Komori. Thanks to you, the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol. This will be the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol has seen in years. Considering the lengths you went to, I hope our guests appreciate it. Speaking of which, your associate arrived a short while ago. She appears to be growing somewhat impatient. Perhaps you could tell her that the banquet is about to begin? Well, we wouldn't want to make Ishtola impatient. Little guy. Oh, big guy, actually. Compared to us, anyway. I remember it being smaller. For obvious reasons. Hope the weather is as nice as that picture when we actually finish this quest. You have the look of a woman who has been to the seventh hell and back. That a guest should be expected to supply the victuals for a banquet held in her own honor. And this while the shadow of Titan looms over us all. It beggars belief. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, I fear I should have accepted my lot with less grace. Lady Stola, Lady Moriko. A thousand pardons for this extreme discourtesy. I was wholly unaware of your true identity, madam. Had I known, I would never have permitted my man to subject you to such unspeakable ordeals. Now, she must have sensed something was amiss. You didn't think I would send you running the length and breadth of Eorzea for a banquet, did you? Spare her your mockery, Captain. Your intent wasn't clear to me until this moment. And unlike me, Komori has no knowledge of your traditions. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten her. Aye, that's fair's fair. There's no sense hiding it any longer. We five were chosen by our brothers and sisters, and before the company of heroes disbanded, we each swore a solemn oath. That any who would follow in our footsteps must be weighed and measured, not by their reputation, but by their deeds. Each man would judge these would-be godslayers by his own criteria. If even one found her wanting, she would be rejected without a second thought. But if she proved herself worthy, we swore that we would do our utmost to support her cause. The world has ever been full of brave souls eager to give their lives for a righteous cause, but all too few capable of making a difference with their sacrifice. To send wave after wave of hapless adventurers into the jaws of a foe against whom they have no hope of victory is worse than futile. Titan is not one to be challenged lightly, and we will not be complicit in the deaths of the unworthy. Which is why the five of you deigned to test Komori with such commendable thoroughness. Time well spent, I'm sure. But tell us, Captain, what is the assessment of you and your fellows? She's a brave one, that much is certain. She willingly walked into the midst of danger, despite my repeated warnings that it would cost her her life. Her skill is undeniable. She stalked her prey as relentlessly as any child of the sands, and struck with precision when an opportunity presented itself. Too many adventurers these days care only for fortune and glory. Komori, however, is a kind and generous soul. I'm certain she has no shortage of loyal allies who will gladly fight at her side. Pshh, why the Uplander is talentful plansmaker, tricksy foe for mighty Rockman. I can only concur with my colleagues' assessments. We 5 of the Company of Heroes hereby judge you a worthy challenger. Cast down, Lord of the Crags, Komori Moriko, and write a new chapter in the history of Eorzea. With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends. For today we celebrate the birth of a new legend. Komori Moriko, Titan Spain. Komori Moriko, Titan Spain. I think Komori feels rather patronized, having to go to all that for a banquet of her own, for herself. Hopefully the food will make up for it. Congratulations, sweetling. Now relax and enjoy the show. It's only just begun. Let's talk to everyone. While they're here. Please conduct yourself with dignity while visiting Costa del Sol. If you behave inappropriately towards other guests, I may be forced to carry out punitive action. Okay, he still has his basic NPC dialogue, but the rest of them. It has been far too long since I last set foot outside the Forgotten Springs. Passing the time with old friends and old wine. Aye, today's a good day indeed. Greetings, Komori. I thought it fitting that I seek you out and... Oh, I read that already. I think the NPCs change their dialogue more frequently in later expansions. Seeing everyone again like this brings back such fond memories. I'd wonder if any of them would be interested in reforming the company. Shh, tasty fresh treats are plentiful in belly of Brave Fox. It feels wonderful to be with the others again. I wish this day would never end. Ah, we stand when we eat. Never mind. Not much of a feast, more of a meal. Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehend its fleeting nature, and cry out to the heavens in celebration. Alright, I guess it was worth it after all. When you face the Lord of Crags, think not of Limsa, Eorzea, or anything beyond his chamber. Think only of the men and women by your side. Fight for them, and they will fight for you. Remember that no great victory was ever achieved alone. Psh, gaw. Goodly Uplander must be facing mighty rockmen with clever fighty think. Gobbyflock cannot be coming to rescue this time. Ah, Komori, you brave fool. Promise me that when you meet Titan, you'll look him in the eye and tell him Landonel sends his regards. Well, if Komori can remember that, maybe she will. I wouldn't count on it. You are a veteran of countless battles, Komori. This is but one more. Trust in your experience and you will prevail. You are blessed with a fortitude to rival the Earth itself. Titan will struggle to break you, I think. Hype me up, Ishola. You are kind to indulge them, Komori. This banquet is as much for the company as it is for you, whatever they claim. I do not deny that they mean well, but now is scarcely the time for celebration. Though they have all but pronounced you the victor, the battle with Titan has yet to begin. The hour has come for the good captain to make good on his promise. We must speak with him again. Ishola has little patience for such frivolity. Frankly, I agree with her. You must be eager to face Titan. As promised, we will show you the way. Travel to Bronze Lake in Upper Lenosia. There you will meet with Ryle, another man who once served with the company. To ensure that this knowledge does not fall into the wrong hands, he will remain in hiding until you have given the correct signal. Give me your map. You must whistle loudly at the 3 locations I mark. Only then will he appear to meet you at this 4th location. I realize this may seem excessive now, but you will see that it is more than reasonable once you comprehend the risks inherent in our method. If you say so. I'm not sure how Ryle will know to listen for our whistles at any time of day. I'll assume you send word out via link pearl or something. Though if he can do that, he can just tell us that we're coming. Or tell Ryle that we're coming. I suppose it'll be our chance to see the scenery the first time we come into the area. And here's the other side of the shore that I neglected. A little bit of a different architecture, different scenery. And the side quest that we ignored. Who goes there? Wait, don't tell me. You've come to help old Eildwine dig for buried treasures? I'll have you know, I'm faring just fine by myself. Just look at that, the beauty over there. Not that I can blame you for being so jealous of my vast riches. Lucky for you, I'm feeling generous today. So here's the deal. I'll give you the honor of opening my latest discovery. That's right. For one precious moment, you can walk in the shoes of Eildwine, treasure hunter extraordinaire. Go on now. The casket won't bite or nothing. Ah, here we are. I think the casket is going to bite. Ah, even more. I guess there's going to be a total of 4 then. Of course, the actual inside of the treasure chest. That's a little bit of a preview, I guess, for how these treasure hunts actually work. Decipher a treasure map, find a treasure chest location, fight some enemies there, and get the reward. Seven Hills, where did those nasty buggers come from? Well, if I hadn't had me trusty pickaxe with me, I'd split their skulls cleaning. Cleaning too. Where in the world did those things go, anyway? What's this? Look, all these wines had the finest Eosius had to offer. From the drowning wench to Buscarone's druthers. And he ain't seen nothing like. Right by your God's gut. It's a trap. That's what it was. Opening the casket shattered this here bottle. And the foul sop poured out. Luring them nasty buggers with its stink. I told you to be more careful. Hand over the loot. You may have opened the casket, but 'twas old Eelwine that did all the dirty work. Wait, that's it? You gave me everything? Well, I got more last time I sold me undergarments for grog money. You're not hiding nothing from me, are you? Well, it looks like we've got no choice. We've got to go out and search old bigger and better treasures. Not the same treasures, of course. I can't hold your hand forever. So sit back and let old Eelwine impart to you a proper trove of knowledge on treasure hunting. Firstly, you find yourself a map. Once you have your map, you decipher it. That means you look at it nice and good like. Then, once you figured out where your treasure's hiding, you go there, you dig it up. Sounds simple enough, you say? Huh. I might make it look easy, but I assure you it ain't. A treasure hunter demands sharp eyes and a sharper mind. But don't be discouraged. Own your skills like old Eelwine, and the treasures are sure to follow. Now if you'll excuse me, my throat's feeling dry. Yes, me too. After talking for so long in these videos. This won't even buy me a swig of the once cheapest grog. What's a man to do to drown out his sorrows? Decipher treasure maps and find the treasure. Treasure maps are still a relevant side content even up until the latest expansion at level 100. But of course those have more to do with treasure dungeons, which are a little bit different. I guess the scope of treasure hunting kind of expanded beyond just searching around the overworld. Nobody wants to really do that anymore. They all want to do the treasure dungeon. Nice place. Ah, I guess where to whistle on the ledge above. What ruins are these anyway? Like Floating City of Nim or whatever? Amdapor Keep? I'm just throwing names out there, but I guess this would be from like the 5th Umbral Era or Astral Era or something like that. I don't know Eosian history. But I do admire Eosian landscapes. This town is particularly nice for an A Realm Reborn location. A kind of hot springs town centered around this. I would think this place would be a lot more popular if the game only had Eosia to offer in terms of places you can go. I can imagine back in the days, players hanging out in this hot spring area, dressing down to their undergarments or swimsuits or whatever they have, and hanging out at these little tables or benches or whatever they are. Probably some fun ERP that took place here, but that's a bygone day. Probably. Do I even have any swimsuit type stuff on me? I guess not. Closest I guess is this, but that's more sleepwear. Could just go straight to the base underwear that you have when unequipping all your gear. Well, that's not very hot springy. Not to my liking. I should look into finding a swimsuit. For all the times that I jump into water. Which is fairly often enough. Your clothes do actually, if you were to submerge yourself in water, have a different sheen to them. You can maybe barely tell. That sheen goes away slightly over time. In fact, I think it's disappeared by now. From top to bottom, it disappears a little bit slowly. It's more visible on other clothes, but it's a nice detail that they have. And it does make me... makes me quite conscious of the clothes that I'm wearing whenever I submerge myself in water. I feel kind of uncomfortable whenever I'm overdressed and in water. The feeling of being soaked transmits itself through the character into my own being vicariously. I guess these characters just dress out in the same underwear that you would have just from unequipping your gear. I'm pretty sure none of this is some gear that you can buy, just the basic Rogadin / Shure underwear. I don't like it though. I prefer something that actually looks like a swimsuit, but I guess this is the best they had back in A Realm Reborn. This character too. Just the normal underwear, being used as a swimsuit. It's an unfortunate bit of design, but I guess it doesn't really matter. A changing room. Carbuncle, please. I was just thinking. Can't get the camera quite right. But these are too small, aren't they? Comparing my height right here, they're far too small for a Lalafell. What were they thinking when they built this? There's no way that a Lalafell could walk in here and change clothes with any peace of mind. Greetings, Les. Might you be the one the captain said would come calling? Aye, I thought so. Pay attention now, 'cause I ain't explaining myself twice. We'll take on Ryle's quest right now. I was debating ending it here, but maybe we can quickly wrap this up. No. No, we are not quickly wrapping this up. This is the boss fight. We'll go long. We'll make this a special episode and go long, and only end it as soon as we finish the fight with the Lord of Krogs. Years ago, when we was weighing up how to get to Titan, one of our scouts stumbled across this beastman Aetherite, see? Eh? What's that look for? Not familiar with him? He speaks of an unamplified Aetherite, which has been claimed by a beast tribe. Lest you wonder, there is no fundamental difference between such Aetherites and those which you have used on countless occasions, Komori. Ah, well if it ain't the Charlian lass, welcome back. Is Ryle from 1.0? Is that why he knows Y'shtola, or is that just lore? Forgive me for interrupting. I had planned to await your report, but I succumbed to curiosity. The tunnels beneath Orgamoro form a bewildering labyrinth that no outsider has ever fully explored. How the company of heroes managed to navigate it is a mystery I have long pondered. Give us a bit of credit, love. We weren't daft enough to try going in the front. The kobolds are always digging new tunnels and filling the old ones with traps. One wrong step, and the next thing you know, you've got 100 tons of rock on your noggin. Suicide to even try, see? Funny thing was, the kobolds didn't seem to have no trouble finding their way around. And it was that got us thinking. I mean, Orgamoro mines are like a bleeding city, ain't they? And getting around in a city that big would be a right pain in the arse if you didn't have an Aethernet, wouldn't it? So it stood to reason that the kobolds must have one, didn't it? Even if there were Aetherite shards in the depths of Orgamoro, you would have needed to attune yourself to them before you could identify their signatures within the life stream. Oh well, that's where you're wrong, love. We had this Charlian bloke to help us, see? Delivered us right into Titan's bedchamber, he did. I don't rightly know how he did it, but I do remember him saying it weren't nothing any Charlian scholar worth her salt couldn't manage. Did he now? Locating a beacon in the absence of a known signature might be possible, if the Aetherites in question happened to be... yes. But in order to guide a traveler to said beacon safely, a second party would be required to... It is possible, in theory at least, yet I cannot be certain until I try. Plainly, all will depend upon whether or not I am worth my salt. Oh, you are, lass. Don't you worry about that. Have a bit of faith in yourself. Why don't we all go to Zelma's Run and take a closer look at the Aetherite? It ain't far, though there's sure to be a few kobolds blocking the way. Not you can't handle, mind. It's a little bit of a... kind of a shithole. Just a bit. But I wouldn't mind living in Hot Spring Town if I had to choose between a bunch of different places in Eorzea. Of course, the city-states are the best, but... if you had to choose one of the little shack towns are dotted across the actual landscape of Eorzea. I think this is one of the better ones, just for the hot water. There are probably better choices lore-wise, but I like hot water. Damn. Almost made it. So this is the Aetheryte the company of heroes used to gain access to Titan's sanctuary. It is as Papalimo speculated. In its present state, this Aetheryte signal will not be strong enough for our purposes. I may, however, be able to use my own energies to amplify it. Alas, the task will monopolize my attention for the duration. It seems you have to proceed without me, Komori. I must needs remain here and supplement this beacon's power, lest you be denied your only path of escape. Fear not. I will summon the Maelstrom forces stationed nearby to protect us. With effort, it is possible that I may be able to stabilize the Aetheryte signal, and thereby join you, albeit belatedly. Until such time as I do, you will be on your own. Now, let us see if I am worth my salt. I have located another beacon, one far below the mountain. I can only speculate as to what you will find there, so stint not in your preparation. And there we are. Now then, we could take on the Lord of Crag as a summoner. But I don't exactly trust in Carbuncle's abilities to fight a demigod. It's been a while, but we'll take on the boss as a black mage. I think this will be my compromise moving forward. Get most of the experience stuff, including the main quests and the dungeons as an arcanist. And for the boss fights, which there shouldn't be that many of, we'll take them on as the black mage. The boss fights don't actually yield that much experience, especially because we won't be going with it with a group of human players, which is the reason you get a lot of experience a lot of the time. But it will be a chance to actually use the class that we built up a long time. If I can remember how to play, that is. It's just a bunch of fires and fires, right? Shouldn't be that hard. My gear is level 50, so there should be no problem on the DPS front. Of course, I could enter with human players, but for these low-level versions of the trial, I prefer to go with the NPCs. One, to see most of their attacks, and two, to not waste the humans' time that would be kind of annoying for them. The higher level versions of this trial are perhaps more worth a human's time, but I don't think these versions are. Look, an Overdweller. Yes, yes, an invader from above. She uses our Aetherites against us. He has defiled Titan's sacred sanctuary. Trespassed, violated, defiled. Overdwellers must leave. Overdwellers must fly. Brothers and sisters, fear her not. Her fate shall be decided by the Lord of Crags. Hear me, Overdweller. You and your treacherous brethren must be held to account for the breaking of the covenant. You shall be the first to face judgment. Then Limsa and her oathbreakers, liars, betrayers, oathbreakers. O great Father, Lord of Crags, Titan, we summon you. Titan, we summon you. He is come, he is come. The Lord of Crags, Titan is come. Overdweller, art thou deaf to their weeping? Thy vile kind coveteth thee ever the blessing of the land, and murdereth my children by the score, all in service to greed. Such sins are beyond pardon. But I am not the first to suffer thy defiance. Thou didst bring Ifrit low. Godless Overdweller, thy myriad heresies shall not go unpunished. Upon thee shall I wreak a terrible vengeance. Alright. Fire 3, fires, ice, then ice. That's it, isn't it? At least at this level. Yeah. We'll be fine. I think this is our first instance of a distance-based damage marker. The closer you are to the center of that, the more damage it does, of course. I'm already at full MP. Only have to do that once, that's right. I guess we can do this to reduce the damage a bit. Great. The only human player gets trapped in the prison. This mechanic, of course, requires your teammates to free you. I believe Titan's Heart is a kind of relic of an older mechanic, where Titan became invulnerable unless you attacked his heart. But they simplified it for newer players, I guess, so that only the heart is targetable. I have to get better at not letting my timer drop off, at least for the later levels. Alright, now it's our turn, the free guy. Would have been bad if I cast the limit break at that moment. He definitely would have pushed me off the ledge with that attack. The Lord of Cracks, Great Father Titan has fallen. The crimes of the Overdwellers shall never be forgiven, never be forgotten. No, no, never. With your kin who broke the covenant, we have acted only in defense of our lands. Cease your aggression, or never will there be peace. Until our dying breaths, we shall defy you, deny, decry, defy. Now these are the readings one would expect of an icon. I have seen enough. We proceed as planned. Are you sure that is wise, my lord? Your curiosity is untested and unproven. We do not yet know its true capabilities. And trust in mine, Ritatin. My curiosity, as you so eloquently put it, would have bested Titan in the blink of an eye. Why, if there be truth to the legends, it could readily subjugate the whole of Eorzea, given but a little while longer. Is that not so? It is. No greater single power has ever been conceived, much less realized. What you say may well be true, but while such devices may win battles, I do not believe they will serve to change the course of this war. Oh, but they will. Have a little faith, my friend. I cannot endorse this course of action. Fool. And now she has a force. Fascinating. Carry on, Crystal Bearer. Far though you have come, your work is far from done. And not remain to mark his passing. Well, the Assassins are nothing if not elusive. It is of little wonder that they should cast advanced teleportation magics at will. But that they would choose to consort with the Empire. What common goal could they possibly share? I feared I might have arrived too late, but I see you had the matter well in hand. I have taken measures to ensure that we are not pursued, yet I cannot say how long they will hold. Take your leave while the kobolds are still in disarray. I will follow anon. There is something I must investigate before I depart. I will teleport you to the Aetherite in Zelma's Run, and we will rendezvous at Camp Bronze Lake. Agreed? You guys got anything to say? I guess not. Well, thanks for the party. Nameless NPCs. I think that's a sign that we're wrapping up just on time. I don't even remember where this episode began. Something with the company of heroes. Must have been at the vineyard. Tra-la-la. I do believe this is just right. Not too hot, not too cold. It is nice, isn't it? In the cold rain, while under the hot water of a hot spring. I relish the chance to do that myself. Relish? Envy? Whatever. I am relieved to see you well. But come, let us discuss our next step. And we'll discuss our next step next time. I was going to take a break in the hot springs. They're the perfect place to take a break. But it's raining. I don't particularly mind being in the rain while I'm in the hot water, I guess, but we should probably find an indoor location. I suppose this will do. It was a long episode. Finding wine at the vineyard, having a feast with a company of heroes, and fighting the Lord of Crags. I think I'm overdue for a feast myself. This session has gone on pretty long, and I'm pretty hungry. And my controller deserves a charge as well. Until next time, that would be a good time to take a break.